talk to you about a visionary. Someone who stepped outside their comfort zone and thought that they could do something more. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guest. Charles R. Walgreens was born in the 1800s, and he landed his very first job working at a shoe factory. Now, what was great about that was that this was a family friend, so he loved working and having this time in the summer away from his sports and school. But what happened was one day he accidentally cut the top layer of the middle finger of his joint. Now, this exposed his skin so much so that it prevented him from ever playing sports in school again. So he thought to himself, what am I going to do now? Sports was his life in school. But because of this accident, what happened was he became so infatuated and interested in pharmaceuticals because he thought it was so interesting that how amazing that the body could heal itself. So lucky for him, he had a family friend that owned a drugstore right at the corner there in Chicago. So he picked up the phone and he called him, and he quickly became an employee under this gentleman's help, working at the store. Now, what was great about this, his name was Isaac Blood, and he quickly put Charles R. Walgreens under his wing and taught him everything that he needed to know about the drugstore industry. And of course, Charles, he was infatuated with this. He thought, this is exactly what my desire to want to do is. He loved the industry, but he wanted to do something different. He thought, I didn't just want to have a regular drugstore. I wanted to have a drugstore that provided a family not fun, but friendly environment. So lucky for him, he was able to buy the company from Isaac Blood, and that became the very first Walgreens there in Chicago. Now you guys are all familiar with who I'm talking about, right? The company named Walgreens. But what's interesting about this story is that because he wanted to do something different, he became a man of many firsts. I don't know if you know this, but he was the first to introduce child-proof prescription containers to the drugstore industry. He also was the first to introduce not only prescription, but also food into drugstores. And of course, now if you go into Walgreens, you're not only going to find prescription, but you find shampoo, makeup, soda, drinks, wine, have it all. And that's amazing, because of one accident in his life, it steered him in another direction and he was able to embrace it. So what do I want to tell you about this? I love the one story he mentioned in his biography, that his wife used to go home and make food and bring it into the store, and she used to sell it at the store there. And then there also was an employee who stood out because he invented the malt milkshake, which is the perfect combination of soda and ice cream. So the famous slogan, I'll meet you at Walgreens for a sandwich and a milkshake, became very popular amongst many. Now, why am I telling you this story? Is because some of us are so stuck in living our life in a meticulous way that we are just too focused on not stepping outside of our comfort zone and not embracing accidents or mistakes that happen in our life. So now for my canvas, which I'm sure you guys are all wondering why it's here. And I want you to picture your life like this triangle. Okay? This triangle is your life, and it's perfectly shaped. You guys can easily distinguish what it is. But some of us are too afraid to embrace the mistakes. Some of us are too afraid to go outside of the lines. Now, when you were in elementary, what did your teacher tell you? When you're coloring, you have to color what? Inside the line, right? You weren't supposed to go outside the line. And what happened if you guys got over here? Oops. It's okay, it's an accident. Don't worry, it's a little mistake. You can make it better, and you would just make the line a lot thicker, right? To hide it. But similar with Walgreens' story. He embraced this accident that happened to him. He embraced not the mistake, but the accident that led him to be the #1 drugstore in the nation. And I'm telling you guys tonight, I want to challenge you. Don't live life just like that. Just here, not worrying to go outside the lines and going to work, doing what you're told. And if something happens, You don't know what's gonna be of your future. Embrace it and really challenge yourself to think outside the box. Because the story is, just like Charles Walgreens did, he embraced that desire, and it really did mold him. And I love that story because so much of us wake up every day and we go to work, and all of us are too scared to go outside of our norm. But what if you guys did? What if something happens that wasn't meant to happen, but in reality led you to your destiny? So I challenge you guys in the future, anytime something occurs or happens, remember the speech and remember, instead of letting it challenge me, I'm going to embrace it and I'm going to let it maybe steer me in a direction that I was meant to be going in anyway. Mr. Toastmaster.